welcome back to another Guide 2 with me, MrSealyp. The Tatra Terrno ITR and the Biobeltz ITR ST. Both mods new out on console, both from Toxic Om, and it would appear that hook lifts, IT runners, like buses, you wait for one and three come along at once. We seem to be inundated with them at the moment. So we'll have a quick look in the store, then we'll have a look over the mods. At the end of the day, a hook lift IT runner type trailer, they do the same thing. There's nothing new to that, but these are new out, and it'd be interesting to see the kind of options available and what potential uses we could find for them. So if we go into the store and go to trucks, along to the Tatra Terrno ITR, 128,995 to buy, 480 horsepower. We can change the main colour to any of those available. We can change the wheel setup from standard to mud, and we can obviously change the rim colour to any of those available as well. The Tatra Terrno has come out in various different guises and forms recently from Toxic Om, and obviously this now, the ITR version, is the latest incarnation of that. If we go then into trailers or tippers, the Biobeltz ITR ST will be found in there for 18,999, and this is where this one is slightly different, and I quite like this. If we go along to the standard IT runner, which the IT runner pack has been out a while, it was a DLC on 15, and obviously it's available on 17 as well now. It's 55,000 for the trailer base, and then obviously all the additional bits of equipment and whatever they cost. So that's 55,000, and that gives you your trailer. That's fine. Obviously with the black sheep modding, Hook 850 coming out, and that being quite a versatile piece of kit, that for 25,000, that's, you know, that's over half the price of the IT runner base trailer. But you do need another trailer to put that on, or a vehicle to put that on. But this, the Biobeltz ITR ST, is only 18,999, which is even cheaper still, and it is a trailer in its own right. It will need to be pulled by something, absolutely, but so does the IT runner. This can be pulled by a truck, semi, whatever lorry you want to call it, but you could also do it with a dolly and a tractor if you wanted to, and if you did this with a dolly, it still works out way cheaper than getting the IT runner. So it's not a bad bit of kit, actually. At first glance you think, oh yeah, okay, another IT runner, another hook lift, great. Price wise, if you're on a budget, if you're trying to build your farm up, you want hook lift equipment, but you don't want to fork out for the expensive stuff, it's a good way to start off. I quite like this. There are no options available on it. It is what it is. And even leasing costs aren't actually too expensive. So, first look around the Tatra. The Tatra Terrno, the model itself, like I said, if you've seen any of the Guide 2s I've done on the other Tatras that have come out, or the Tatra Terrnos that have come out recently, the actual truck cab and design and stuff is pretty much as it is on all of those. The back section is obviously your hook lift section, which is becoming relatively commonplace now. The Toxic Om version of is on the back section of this. This does make this a very versatile unit now. I do like this. When the original one came out, it was the ITR 480, I think it was. That was brilliant. That was really great. And then it disappeared off the Modhub. This is obviously like the newer, or the next version of. And I do like this self-contained unit. It's all here. You don't need, it's not trailed, you don't need a tractor, you don't need a lorry. This is the whole kind of unit. 128,000 is not cheap to buy, but it does make it a very versatile piece of kit. So we'll jump in. It's got its beacons. We've got lights. We have indicators. As far as front lights go, front lights, main beam, and that's it. Don't think there's a rear work light. There isn't. Which could be a slight issue, I suppose, when if you're doing hook lift type things at night. That could be a bit of a problem. But as the actual cab unit goes, it's not a bad little unit. I like this. So if you've seen a hook lift operate before, this is no surprise. If you haven't, the hook lift comes out of its resting position, and then we hook it up to whatever implement you have, and it will work on all of them, all the IT runner stuff, all the ones that have subsequently come out, and then we load it up. Nice smooth fluid animation and action on it. Goes on very nicely. That looks quite good. I like that. And like I say, that will be compatible, I was going to say adaptable, compatible with all the hook lift equipment. The only thing I did notice was unloading it. If you do it on grass or a rough surface, it doesn't necessarily, sometimes it digs in a little bit on the ground, so you might have to drive forward if it digs in, like so. Just pull forward a little bit. Obviously the rollers on that will roll much better on a flat surface, but that in essence is that. Now the Biobeltz ITR ST behind, again, it's the same thing, it's a hook lift. That's good. Very, very nice indeed. It's a hook lift. It does the same thing, but it's just the trailer unit. There's nothing else to it. It's basically just a skeleton frame with the actual hook lift attachment section on it. But relatively cheap, at just under 19,000. So you will need a truck, lorry, semi, or a tractor and a dolly for this to work. Back onto it and hook up. Triple axle on the back as opposed to the double axle on the Terrno there. But it's nice, it works, it's cheap, it's a good alternative. And it does exactly the same thing. The hook lift, once it's hooked up, will drag your chosen implements onto the back, and there are a lot to choose from. And there it settles very, very nicely. It doesn't go right to the front of the trailer. That's one thing I noticed. I suppose technically, I was going to say technically you could have probably cut this trailer down a little bit and brought it all forward, but to bring this whole section forward and have the fifth wheel attachment would get in the way of the actual hook lift sections. That probably explains why that's a little bit longer than it, than it needs to be. It does need to be, doesn't it? But there you go. Looks very nice. Does what it needs to do. Transports your hook lift implements wherever they need to go. Although, that's interesting. That shifted a little bit then. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to stay on there, but that is definitely shifting. Well, there you go, that's something worth noting. Obviously you're not going to be banging around like a lunatic with these, but you would hope, especially when this is empty, if that was full, this is the slurry spreader, if that was full of slurry, you would not want that shifting or coming off the back of that trailer going around a bend. There's no way of locking this down. That is as it comes. So that's the two options available in the latest of the hook lift attachment battle that seems to be raging across our consoles. Both from Toxicom. They work very nicely. That's a bit of a concern. Like I say, there's nothing in that. I mean, I didn't go whizzing around like a maniac with this, so I'll be interested to see. Generally speaking, when I do these kind of guide tours, mod reviews, I generally get people commenting saying, I have found it has done this, it has done that, have you tried it with this, have you tried it with that? Generally speaking, when I do the mod reviews, it's a guide to what it can do. With a lot of these different mods, they are so versatile with so many different things they can do and so many different attachments. I could do a guide to that could take 45 minutes. Have a play with them, see what works, see what doesn't. Stick it in the comments, let me know. Are you having issues with this one? The Biobeltz ITR ST? Have you had any problems with the Tatra Terrno ITR? Hopefully not. I wouldn't like to see any of these disappear off the Modhub. But there you go. That's it from me. I hope you found this useful and informative. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share the video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.